Okay, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you may be listening around the world, apart from North Korea, which we don't broadcast there.
Parts of China.
Well, they've asked for the show. I said no.
And China?
Yeah, no, you don't start bloody Cold War with this country.
I was gonna say,
and you think that I'm going to fucking help them out.
Yeah, we don't want your money.
No, you can piss off all of our Chinese listeners.
What about Cuba? I don't think Cuba.
The Cubans can listen all day. I like you and your funky cars. I hope you're listening in an old convertible down the street.
I don't think they have the internet as we know it.
They would have the internet as we know it.
No, I think they have. I read a thing in Wired magazine. They don't have.
They get podcasts.
They might get them in, but not. Yeah, streaming.
They might get them late after they've been
They get them like loaded down there. Yeah. All right. Well,
Our podcast. If you're from Cuba and you're listening, you bloody write to us on your Cuban internet.
on the Patreon. Yeah, that'd be very.
On the messages we don't check.
I think the Cuban internet is actually a Rubik's Cube.
No, that was invented in. Do you remember?
We
were in the country. They had murals of it.
Yeah, a Russian invented that. Hungarian.
Hungary, yeah. There you go. Budapest, they had all those murals.
Yeah, but that's not quite right. So what happened with Edna Rubik is, because I've just watched the Toys That Made Us episode.
What's his name?
Edna Rubik.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was an actual name, Rubik.
Yeah, Rubik. He was a guy. The same.
Which, by the way, I mean, how hard? I mean, it would be hard to invent it, but it's just like a fucking cube.
Yeah, but he still invented it. Anyway, so he invented that. He also did the Unlink the Rings, right? The guy Rubik. He was a Russian, and also the guy who invented Tetris was a Russian, and the only way to get your toy out in the market and not give it up to the communist country, where they're like, this is owned by government and now we're on the Rubik Cube. So he had to keep Rubik Cube. This is the one voice I'm still allowed to do. It's not racist.
Yeah.
The Rubik Cube, I tried to get out, but could not. So you get into Hungary, because Hungary's your middle ground.
But this was before, was this like the USSR?
Yeah, but it was still communist, but it wasn't Russia level of communist. So it was a little bit like Hungary still had trades with people, was still doing things. If you could get your product over into Hungary, then you could move it on. So Hungary claims the things, but they're actually from Russia.
Budapest. We'll be back there.
My house in Budapest. I didn't mind Budapest. It was all right.
I like it. We went to that castle.
Yeah, I won't be going again to the castle. I've seen the castle.
I think we only have a day there. That was our first stop the last time we went. So we had some time there, but
this time we start in Milan.
Yeah,
we're going to be walking around. We're going to be walking around like the Griswolds when they bought those clothes in Milan in the European vacation.
We're going to be wearing matching outfits.
And remember they were the height of and he came out like in a fedora with a thing, and then Rusty came out in a suit, and she came out with a little like fancier or whatever.
Yeah.
Was it called a fancy? What's it called, that thing?
Fascinator?
Fascinator, because it's fascinating.
What's a fascinator?
A fascinator is like a thing that hangs over, like you wear
it's like a little half hat, so you can have like a little veil.
Like you wear it to the horse races or something like that.
And a lot of
and then you
videos.
go, oh, what are you wearing that for? That's fascinating. That's where it comes from.
All right.
Probably.
But you've said a lot of things that I don't think
doesn't matter. This is the Patreon. You're not getting educated here.
Why is it called?
None of the things here have to be factual. Not like the other podcasts where you might learn something, you'll learn absolutely nothing on the Patreon. You're dumber and broker for the experience. Thanks for coming.
$1.25.
$1.25 an episode. Like, you're not way broker.
Yeah.
You're entertained. You're happier, hopefully.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, this is like we're professional conversationists, right? For $1.25.
I mean,
so for like 30 cents each, you get us, right?
Yep.
30 cents each.
I think they're paying
33.
75 cents for you, probably.
Yeah, and you guys are 10 cents each or something like that.
We're like the convenience fees.
Off,
yeah. And then you think, I would like his company for 10 cents for an hour. that's how good
it's a bargain.
Yeah,
if you really think about it.
That's how good a company we are. The people
you're 75 cents.
I'm 75 cents worth of company all day.
Left for the 3. Let's just make you 80.
Which is weird because in real social situations, I'm terrible company.
30. Wait, let's make you 82 cents.
Okay.
That's 80 for 25. I haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
But,
they're going to make a Russell Crowe movie out of Forrest called A Simple Mind.
I think we're going to be 12 cents each.
I think he's 95 cents and we're each 10 cents each.
Wow, you did it pretty quick.
Well, I'm a genius.
You're 95 cents. We're each 10.
All right, I'm 95 cents worth of entertainment, sure.
Yeah, per hour.
I'm not like Tim Dillon, who's like fucking. What does he charge an episode? There's loads of people.
Probably the same, but
he has so many people. Yeah, more people.
Yeah, so and it's only him.
Yeah, but he's very entertaining.
Yeah, well, there you go.
He actually talks about things.
You just got to yell more a little bit.
We have nothing prepared.
Let's start a war with him.
Do we?
Yeah, let's start a war with Tim Dillon.
I started a war years ago. No, I don't want a podcast.
I was kidding.
Our Patreon could beat up your Patreon.
When I was doing a podcast with EDF way back in the day, there was a podcast that always ranked sort of. We were ranked. This is the infancy of podcasts. We were ranking in the top 20 all the time. But there's no podcast.
Right.
This is like 2000 and fucking whatever, right? And 2010 or 2009, something like that. Anyway, so there was this podcast that was like a show called The Apple Sisters, and the Apple Sisters were meant to be like these three girls who were like singers during the Second World War. They're like the boogie woogie boogie boy, pumpity bo.
They had a podcast?
Yeah, they did a podcast with sketches and stuff. They put a lot of effort into it. It was probably all right.
Oh, so it was like a Lake Wobegon.
Yeah, it was a radio show like, hello, boys, we're here from the war. We're the Apple Sisters. Like, it was...
And they're like...
Yeah.
Where's that sound?
Yeah, they put a lot of effort in, right? They put a lot of effort in.
You guys are just on a couch.
Yeah, we're on a couch. Good podcast, good talking shit or something like that. And so we're just thinking, and I said, we should pick a beef with a podcast. I said, look at the charts, and I went, we'll go after the Apple Sisters. And I was like, the Apple Sisters suck like this, right? And I just went, go fucking tell the Apple Sisters what I fucking said. And if they want to respond, they can. But I didn't know the Apple Sisters couldn't respond because they were an actual radio show. So these poor girls were just trying to do a show. Probably a very good thing.
They'd have to make a song.
Yeah, they were getting abused by our fans. Were writing to them, you suck. And I think one of the Apple Sisters were like, hey, it's really hurting our feelings. Can you stop it? Like, wrote to us. And I was like, I'm really sorry. And I went on the podcast. Can everyone stop abusing the Apple Sisters, man?
And did they?
Hopefully. It was a long time ago. If you're still abusing the Apple Sisters, what a low-life cunt you are. You've been doing it for a decade now.
There they are, the Apple Sisters.
Yeah, the Apple Sisters.
Are they still kicking it?
I don't know. They did something.
I don't know. I'm going to their Instagram now. Not doing great on Instagram.
Don't start a beef with the Apple Sisters.
No, support the Apple Sisters.
Imagine they finally just get over it and then you start a new
I'm saying support the Apple Sisters. Get out there and support them. You can subscribe to them on YouTube. There you go. They look fun.
Yeah.
They're young.
Well,
they do a version of
They would have been younger then.
No, but they do a version of the World War II. I thought they were that old.
Oh, no, they weren't old. No, they did like sort of like they dressed up with the hair and all that type of stuff and they did the songs and, it's a thing.
One of them looks like Zoe
Deschanel.
Yeah. Is that her?
Yeah.
One of them, Kimmy Gatewood, directed episodes of Glow and Girls 5 Eva. And
so this is it. Now you can say
shows.
support the Apple Sisters.
Yeah, the Apple Sisters, what, they're famous directors now? Or I've been missing out on jobs?
That's why you're not booking.
You probably got it in like... and
That's why you got to be nice on the way up, people.
You probably got it in auditioned and they've been like, oh, Jim Jeffries. Yeah, just bring him in anyways. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. I said one stupid thing. No, it does cost you doing things like that. I always think that with like, whenever I've been on TV shows, there's always been like someone who's been an assistant who's gone on to be a director or something like that. And you're like, fuck, But there's also the Liam Gallagher approach that you're being, rude to people on the way up. Be rude to them on the way down, I guess.
That's the approach.
You know what I mean? Like, I've already done it. No problem. We'll just be rude on the way
this
down.
This industry is too small to take the chance.
How is that not Zoe Deschanel?
Is it?
I don't know. It looks like her, doesn't it?
It does. I mean,
she's one of the Apple Sisters. That's really why you're not getting any
yeah, fuck yeah.
She's one of the Apple Sisters.
One of the Apple Sisters.
All right.
So our episode this week was on drag.
Oh yeah,
Jim, you got it on the first try.
And it went, because he had a trophy in the background. But yeah, I know a little bit. I thought he was a bit harsh on my mark of 6.
The history you didn't really
know.
My
history was bad.
6 was fair.
What did it stand for, drag again?
Dressed resembling
really averagely girl.
That was one of the theories.
Dressed resembling a girl.
Oh.
I also heard there was another theory that it was because...
I thought they'd be lynched and dragged and something, and then they tried to re-own the word.
They said something else about a grand rag, and then they combine those two words. So I guess they don't really know what the origin is.
But it lends itself to the name Drag Race. They would have come up with that title pretty quick.
Yeah. For sure.
Drag show.
Yeah.
Drag night.
I think they had that name before the show.
Dragarilla. Dragocious. Dragalicious. Drag race. Yeah, there would have been called. I've seen plenty.
Drag.
I think there was also a Monty Python sketch called Drag Race.
I still can't believe you have so many connections to the show, and they
wouldn't let me judge. They're heterophobic. I'm telling you.
That's crazy.
They won't let a heterosexual. Especially not me, because they're worried that I'll come on and do something stupid. But I'd be really respectful.
Yeah.
I appreciate the art form, and I'd be dead nice. I would.
They probably didn't. They probably didn't believe that you were an actual fan.
I love musical theatre and all that type of stuff. I like fucking song and dance, man.
I think I even sent them the podcast episode from the old podcast of you like gushing over it and explaining everything when you brought in Dan to talk about it. I think I sent that over. And
Dan who?
Our post guy,
Oh,
Cuba.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, they would.
He was into it too, right? Yeah.
I just think I would make a gruesome looking drag queen. I don't think I got the bone structure.
I'm realizing I gotta
Shoeless.
from on my computer on here. I gotta figure out how to place it because I had my calendar up earlier and someone could read it. It's like
I thought you were about to say I thought you were about to say whether you were a good drag queen or not.
No, it said colonoscopy on there. Someone will find
Well,
it.
everyone gets them. Nothing wrong with that.
I don't give a shit. Yeah, I'll fucking talk about it. I had to move it though.
What, your colon?
Wait, you just don't want people showing up to your colonoscopy?
There's no address on there, but they're gonna know the date. You know, send me some treats that I can't eat. No, I got to move it because I'm
Is it
not
just-
going to be in town.
Is it just a normal checkup?
Because I'm old, dude. I just turned 50.
Yeah,
see,
Boris
man.
is 50 and we did nothing.
That's nuts.
Well, yeah, I flew to Korea.
I watched your dog.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
I think I might have
Happy
texted you.
birthday. You paid me for it.
What are you supposed to do?
You
Why-
paid
why-
me for it.
You
why
should
do-
have a party
Happy
for your
birthday.
50th.
I could do it now.
Yeah.
You could have a party for your 50th.
Let's do it.
All right.
Or wait till you turn 51 and say you turn 50. People won't.
5150, bro. I could do it now, but I don't know what I would do. I don't know. What
Do it
I
in
would do.
Vegas.
You invite people.
Yeah, I know, but then what?
And then we stand around. we
hold beers and go, "Good to see ya."
Then we're
Pat on the
50. It's like it's a 50-year-old birthday party. They get worse and worse. so your party's going to just be like this. Yeah, you know who died?
Yeah.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. You start to, because that's the weird thing that happens with age is like people just start dying, and it's not even that surprising anymore. You're like, yeah, he was heading that way. Yeah, he didn't look well when I last saw him. In your 40s and 30s, you're like, what the fuck? But then it's like,
Yeah.
it's like even like with Bob Saget, it's like, oh yeah, we do slip over. Yeah, it's bloody.
Yeah.
Got to watch those bathrooms. And
Well-
Bob was my friend, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, but it's just old when you get old. And then when you get like 80, you're just like, everyone's dying all the time. Like my dad now is like starting to think about dating like ex-mates of his wives.
Wow.
Because, you know,
That happens a
But he
lot.
already knows them.
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't have
knows
to woo them.
some blokes have already dropped off.
Yeah.
He's dead, my wife's dead, and off you go.
If anything, his friends should be happy that he's going to take care of their
That
wives.
happens a lot. I forget who else, but I have a friend, and I was like, and I think their dad's dating their wife.
Well, they can't use the computers.
Best friend or something like that.
They can't use the computers. They don't want to get on the apps.
Yeah.
This is their circle of friends.
They already know all the
Like,
information.
it's the
No
same.
learning.
It's the same as when you're in your 30s or in your 20s. More in your 20s. When you're in your 20s and there's a girl you really like, but she's dating a guy, and you think, no, that won't last.
Yeah.
You went. I'll just
And then they get married.
stay in the friend zone for a while. I'll be that shoulder to cry on, then whoop, off I go. You plot for years on some of these women.
It's called simping.
Yeah, you gotta go. You gotta wait for that one. I gotta wait for that one. I gotta wait for that one. You have about 4 of them, right? That are like waiting out relationships. I think Seinfeld talked about this in episodes of Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You're waiting out relationships, and then when you get in your 80s, you're waiting out deaths.
Yeah.
Yeah, your husband's got cancer, does he? Oh, all right.
How long you got?
How far is it? Oh, okay.
All right, well-
how's your hip?
For my 50th, maybe I'll do something like fun.
Well, we can't do anything physically. Like
Putt-putt golf?
Yeah, we can do putt-putt golf.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But we can't play like
Top golf.
top golf we can do
go to
all
top
day. We
golf.
could do top golf.
Top.
Yeah.
But it's your birthday now too.
46, so who gives a shit?
I know, but I'm not gonna be. I'll still be in Vegas for your birthday, so maybe combine them.
I'll be leaving before my birthday. You know, like you know how unimportant you are within your family. When they go like this, they go. My wife goes, "Hey, for your birthday, we're going to go to that pizza restaurant that Hank likes."
That sounds good though. Is it a good pizza
It
place?
is a good pizza place, but that's my birthday dinner.
Hank's favorite meal.
Yeah, we're going to go to that pizza place that Hank likes, and you're paying for everyone.
Yeah, it's fun.
Can you drive?
Happy birthday! Oh
right.
yeah, all day.
I'm gonna arrange Top Golf. That's what I'll do.
All right.
I was in my house the other day, right? So my wife has started Boxercising, and she thinks she's really good at boxing. Yeah. So we had an issue because
how is there an issue?
Such a funny sentence.
I'll tell you. So she boxes in the backyard, right? And then she's like,
not with like a TV or anything. She just does it.
No, she has like a trainer come over. He brings the pads.
With a trainer.
And he goes 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. A boxing guy, and she does this, and she does boxing exercise.
What does that guy look like?
He's a big guy.
Yeah,
he could beat the shit out of me. Yeah. He's a big guy. Yeah,
he can beat the shit out of you, take your house.
Yeah. He knows. Yeah,
invite him in.
Yeah.
Sure.
So he and my wife goes like this. Hey, did you see me boxing in the backyard like this? Have you seen me boxing? And I said, yes, honey. I was at the top window and I looked down and I saw you boxing like this. And then my son comes home like this. Hey, Dad, I'm going to kick a ball in the backyard. Come and watch me. And it's like, my job in the house is to go watch everyone. Oh yes, you're doing it. And then hangs like this. I want to do a Dad, I'm learning trumpet. You want to hear my new song? Come over here. I'll watch you. And then Anna, who's staying with us, is a friend of my wife's, was on a TV show with her. She's an actress, and she had a monologue she was doing for her. She goes, Jim, I'm doing a comedy monologue. Can you come and watch me? I'm the official watcher. I don't know why everyone cares what I fucking think. I'm a shambles of a human, right? And so
they just want someone to be there. They just want someone to be there.
An audience.
And so my wife's like, I have a really good punch. Like that, right? So I have this boxing pad that my son used to hit. My wife's got these proper big boxing gloves. And so I have the pad. And so Hank was punching, boom, 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 like this, right? And then my wife, like, she goes, go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, or 3, 2, 1, or whatever. I'll do the combos, right? And after 3 and move and all this other stuff. And she was showing me, so in the living room, boom, 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 like this, right? And then she goes, and I'm doing it, and I go, okay, go full pace. And, she's hitting hard enough, like that stuff. And then she goes, I hit pretty hard, huh? Like this, right? I said, yeah, you hit hard, like that. Hank hit harder, right? Hank hit harder, but I didn't say nothing, right? The 10-year-old's got more. Anyway, so
she won't hear this.
Yeah, so
she won't pay.
She doesn't pay for it.
So.
Anyway, so
start a podcast for her.
Yeah. So my wife goes, you do it, and she goes like this. She goes. I go. Oh, I'll hit too hard. It's going to be too hard, like this, right? And she's got the pad on. She goes, I'm fine. I'm braced. I've done it with the trainer. Now, obviously, the trainer's just going tap with her, like tap. And so I thought, okay, well, I won't be patronising. I won't just go tap like that. And I'll go 30%, right?
I don't know.
And I went, boom, like that, like about that. And,
but your wife's
and she's
small.
holding the thing, and her arm went bang in her face.
Oh, no.
And I'm
this is an incident.
And I'm like this. Told you this wasn't a good idea.
Cops come. You're like, she forced me to punch her.
And then there was like this. Why do you always take things too far? And I didn't even want to do it. Everyone. I'm like an Adams. I'm like a fucking. What's his name? The guy that made something about Mary. Like one of his movies.
Ben Stiller.
I'm like a Ben Stiller movie. She asked me to. What have you got for us, Jack?
Is she okay?
No. I just want to stipulate very quickly.
I didn't know you had a song, Jack.
My wife didn't have a black eye or a broken nose or anything. You just sort of, her arm hit her in the chin.
Okay.
She's fine. She's completely fine.
Yeah.
But I really did. I didn't wind up. I didn't go, all right, I'm going to fucking. I just went boom like that. It's a bit of fun.
I didn't know you had a song, Jack. I'm sorry.
Go on.
I really stepped on that. Yeah.
You think you're so smart, you think your voice should be heard.
How is that comment world? We haven't been on the air for fucking ever.
We've had 2 months of comments.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I bet a lot of the comments are like, where the fuck's the podcast?
There was a lot of those.
I genuinely, like, that's why I said, let's announce this, like, for the last 5 episodes. So we announced it for the last 5 episodes saying we're not going to be back till February. And the amount of DMs and comments we got, where the fuck are you guys?
The one that made me laugh yesterday, I didn't say it, was like, finally, the downfall of Jim
Oh,
Jeffries.
yeah, the inglorious demise of the etiquette podcast. And I was like, huh? And he goes, wait, are you guys still on? And I was like, we're recording today. And he goes, oh.
You know what's funny is we didn't even mention
but
it.
how did if he doesn't like me, why is he listening to the podcast?
Which,
comments don't make sense.
I don't think he was rooting for your demise. I think he didn't know what the words meant. Like, that made more sense
like
to
a
me.
broken English type of thing.
Yeah, because then he was like, oh, you guys are, yeah. But you know what's funny is when we recorded the Scientology podcast, We didn't even make like, hey, we're back. We've been on for a month. It's like, hey, all right.
This is a long episode, so let's just cut the intro. Okay, go. Ads.
We didn't make any big deal.
What do you mean this?
I know, but I think we
got to advertise the Patreon on the other ones. We didn't do that.
Just looking back. Yeah, we did.
We did today. We didn't do it in the first episode.
But just looking back, we because of all the comments, people are like, what's going on? And like, we said it at least 4 times.
Yeah, they're like, I'm such a huge fan of the podcast. I don't listen to it all the way through though. Like.
Well, we said it at the beginning.
Yeah, I know.
We said it at the beginning, like, hey, Jim's going to be doing a game show.
Skip the intro.
I was walking around with my wife and my kid around Luna Park in Sydney over Christmas, which is a little tiny theme park underneath the Sydney Harbour Bridge, right? Anyway, so we walk around the park, and there's a guy that walked by, and he went like, hey, man, I love your stuff, man. Like Australian, like, I love your stuff, mate, like that, right? Anyway, we walked past him again, and he was talking to his girlfriend, and we heard this. He doesn't just do filth; he does a serious podcast.
That's amazing.
All right, not the Patreon. All right, we got comments.
First comment. I hope this show never ends.
Oof, okay.
All right,
that's nice.
That's good.
Yeah.
That is nice.
The Patreon or the I don't know about that podcast.
Just I don't know about that.
Either.
Yeah.
I got an email on my personal website from a guy. Hey,
do you have a personal website?
Yeah. JackHackett.com.
That's right.
I didn't know that.
He's got things going.
Should I go to this? See what's going on.
Don't
there.
bother. He goes, hey, Jack, I just want to say thank you, Jim, Kelly, and Forrest, for all you do. I'm a mass shooting survivor, and I have bad PTSD, depression, anxiety.
Don't turn on fun.
Is that Mike?
Wait, why is there music?
I didn't even open any pages.
Then shut it.
I'm trying.
Just mute.
There's a guy about him.
That's not a
I
good
didn't
time.
even touch my
That's
computer.
not a good
A
time.
guy's a mass shooting
Sorry.
survivor, and you're like this.
Sorry, Ernesto.
It was bad vibes. I wanted to pick up the mood a little bit.
I have really bad
Yeah.
PTSD, depression, anxiety, and the etiquette podcast helps me so much to just get through the day sometimes. I thought it was important for you guys to know that you're making a difference in people's real lives, helping them get through real things. Keep up the great work. P.S. You don't look like Dave Grohl.
Well, Dave Grohl's a good-looking guy. You want to look like
I
Dave
can't
Grohl?
imagine surviving a mass shooting. That would.
Oh,
I
no,
would stay in my house forever
You'd be
after
picked
that.
off pretty quick, I reckon.
I hope. I mean, I'd hope so. If that ever happens, I'm standing up in the
Because
middle of the room.
you look too sarcastically at him, like, what are you doing?
For real?
You know what's funny? Am I being punked? Did they put that show back? So you pressing that thing just reminded me of a story from my childhood, right? So my friend Andy Moran, who is one of the lead baritones for the Australian Opera, he reminded me of this story, and it came all flooding back. So when we were at university, in between semesters, we would do sometimes singing jobs. We would go I worked for the Perth Opera one time and did a production. Mm-hmm. At Christmas, we'd work for professional carols and stuff like that, and they'd pay us more than if we did another job, you know what I mean? And so we had to do this thing that was like, this woman had written lyrics to the Nutcracker music. So, Nutcracker, the king of all the toys, brings jolly good cheer to girls and boys. Dun, 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 dun. Like, that's what she did, right? Okay. And so she did this big Christmas thing in this big church, right? And I got this gig, and it paid like, I don't know, a few $100 or whatever. We had to go to a couple of rehearsals, and we had to show up. It was good money for me at the time, you know. Anyway, this woman didn't like me very much, right? I was being a smart ass in the 2 rehearsals, right? She didn't like me. And one thing that happened was she went, hey, everyone, well, there will be an interval. I'm asking you, please do not drink during the interval. I know, because we're all university students. Please do not drink during the interval. It does affect your singing afterwards. And don't drink before the show. Anyone got any questions? And I put my hand up and went, what's your opinion on heroin, right? And I got a good laugh, right? And from that moment on, this lady was not a fan of mine, right? So anyway, so when the concert starts the next day, so normally when you start with a choir, you'll have a pitching fork, right? So everyone hears their note, and you go, ding, and we'll go, or they'll have like a little tiny kazoo-like thing that they'll move to the note they want and go, brr, brr. But this woman thought she'd bring a bit of technology into it, right? And she had one of those little Casio keyboards, and she was just going to hit the note. Ding, like that, right? Like a little ding. Anyway, so she brings out the Casio thing. Someone must have fucked with her settings, or she hadn't fucked it, and she hit it, and it went ding, 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 ling, ding, ding, ling, ding, 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 and then it moved into a samba, and then she's hitting buttons, and then it was like everyone started laughing. I'm laughing as well, right? And she just looked at me and went, "You." And I'm like, I didn't do anything, man.
I was busy doing heroin.
I mean, I'm ready to sing this fucking Nutcracker song, man.
You.
Hey, you.
Your website looks pretty good, Jack.
Thanks.
There's pictures of me on here. I didn't.
That's right.
Sign off
I didn't.
on that.
Yeah, I didn't give you permission.
Yeah, I took him.
Okay. A lot of pictures of Jim too.
Am I?
Well, it's photography.
It's all from the Jim Jeffries
the people-
show.
Some of Louise. And
Touch tongues.
Camel.
Oh, okay. On the game show, that was my trick, right? So whenever I'm in that big dome and
Jackcatcher.com.
all the people are around, right? So sometimes when I was walking around the floor, my head might be in the way, and so I'd hear turn to your left, turn to your right, and I could see the screens, and so put it on that angle again with the thing. Oh, there we go. Right. So what I would do is, if I had a contestant, my head was like this, I'd drop down lower, like that, and I go, act like you're enjoying yourself. And then I'd come up and go, like that, right? Got a big laugh. I was sucking someone off or going down on them or whatever. Anyway, I did it every episode, right? Just a little warm up. It's never going to make an edit. It's not going to get on commercial television. And then there was one crowd that wasn't that hot, and I did it. And I just went down, and then I came up and did that to nothing. There isn't a lonelier place on earth than doing that joke and getting nothing.
What'd you say after it?
I just fucking, all right, next question.
Oh no.
It'll be all right in the edit.
All right.
Someone says Forrest needs a fans only account. Very hot.
Oh.
Who's that?
Anne Marie Gianfrancesco.
I think she's talking about your temperature.
Run
Yeah,
out.
he's sweating. Damn.
What's her name?
Anne Marie Gianfrancesco.
Wow.
I love when
Thanks,
sometimes
Anne-Marie.
you have like I'll have women write to me like, can you have my babies? And I go, look, if you write that to me, I'm going to click on your picture. Right, there's no stopping me. I'm going to click on you're like, you've caught my
There's the
attention.
secret.
Yeah, like I'm like, I don't slip into anyone's DMs or anything like that. There's no fucking, I don't do that shit, right? But I will if you send me a message. I'll go, I wonder what you look like, right? And I've done that every time. It's like some like fucking 60-year-old woman. I'm like, what babies do you think you're having?
By the way, I would do an OnlyFans in a second if I thought I could make money on it, but I don't think men can make money on OnlyFans.
You
Yeah, they
could.
can.
Worth a shot.
So you reckon that there isn't somebody in the gay community that wants to see you shoving things up your ass?
Yeah,
You
but I don't want to shove things up my ass.
Well,
though.
then you don't want to do an OnlyFans.
Commit to
What's
the fucking
point?
job.
Yeah, like
No.
if you want to put out a quality product, people will pay for it.
Yeah.
If you think that you can just get up on your OnlyFans and dance around
Yes.
a bit, no.
There's plenty of women that just show their tits
No.
and do it.
I actually bet you
That's
could-
like
you
that's
could
like you
do
start a
something like
podcast,
that.
a million people will listen, and it'll all be like Joe Rogan. It's not like that.
No. There are OnlyFans accounts where women aren't shoving shit up their ass and they still make a lot of money. They just show their tits or they're naked.
Yeah,
I'll
no.
lie around naked and play PlayStation.
Yeah, but you aren't as
Call
good
yourself the
looking.
PlayStation guy.
You have to be the elite just to show your tits.
Excuse me, I just got a comment.
Yeah, but
I
if-
am very hot.
Yeah, but if you're one of the elites, right? If you're
$50.
If you're one of the elites, if you got a set of the best tits on earth, you can show your tits all the time.
I think
You'll
I do.
make money, right?
Yeah.
But if you look like you have to go the extra mile.
Okay, why don't I'm not going to shove anything up my ass.
You could
a bunch of
masturbate, just masturbate.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You just sit there.
Yeah, you can do
yeah.
that.
Like gay porn.
Yeah, I gotta get.
But
I
you'd
gotta
you'd
get
have to
waxed.
promote yourself.
No. People like the hair. That's your thing. That's your gimmick.
My gimmick. My hook.
Yeah. And then like you see another bloke going, you'll go, I'm the hairy dick guy.
All right. Well,
And your logo can be like at OnlyFans shaft hair.
yeah. Okay. If more of you want
For a
it, if
shaft.
more fans out there want it, let me know. If it's just not and whatever.
I used to show my
Yeah.
boobs all the time in college for free stuff or money.
Yeah, you should start OnlyFans for sure. You're a woman.
Yeah.
If I was a woman,
I have
I'd
too
be
many
all over
tattoos
it.
though. Like I
That
would-
people like that.
People like
I know,
tattoos.
but no,
Yeah,
I
but
would like.
She wants to keep her head out of it.
I would keep my head out.
Because
Too
her
many
mum has an
tattoos.
OnlyFans account.
Yeah, my mom is so supportive. She watches anything I do. So
Yeah. Good point. All right.
No, I found with, because my mother was so strict growing up and I was always in trouble for things I said and all that sort of stuff. And that sort of That sort of gave me the freedom as a stand-up comedian. This is so wanky. It gave me the freedom as a stand-up comedian. But it gave me the freedom as a stand-up comedian to fucking just go, fuck it. Because she was always disappointed in me.
Right.
No matter what I said, I could say anything. It wasn't bloody good enough, or I didn't do a good job, or fucking everyone's laughing at you, she'd say, which was the purpose, Mum. Anyway, so then I was just like, fuck it, I'll say anything, right? And then I watched other comics whose parents loved them, and they couldn't. Like Jack could never, when he comes to my show, when your mum's in the audience, you could never do a routine about you fucking like a rubber cunt or something like that.
No. That'd be bad.
I early on, I did a routine that embarrassed my mom, and she got really upset because she was dating a guy. This is a guy that.
Oh, when you talk about him, they get more upset.
Yeah, and he.
Yeah, I did that once. Never again.
They had probably. I don't know, to this day, I mean, she's passed away, so she'd probably be like, you can't. But there was like a porno that was left out, and I believe it was the guy she was dating had the porno, and I made a joke about it, and she was like in front of all of her friends at like some open mic night, and she was like, that was not my porno. And she was like very upset about it and stuff.
Oh, shit.
Well, that's the thing is my career's over
like,
if my dad figures out how to use the internet. If my dad figures out how to use the internet and he hears the things I say. He said that to me this trip. He goes, if I bloody could hear the things you say about me on your pod shows, bloody, I wouldn't be happy. I go, people love you, Dad.
Yeah.
I go, you're like a folklore hero.
Yeah, he's
a part of the best stories.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that hasn't met your dad and not loved him.
Yeah. He's a very lovable bloke. Very lovable bloke.
He's a legend.
Yeah, he's so
Gary,
he's
not going to listen to this. He would never pay for it.
Yeah, he'll listen to the free ones.
Even if he gets the internet, this isn't being heard.
He's not supporting the Patreon.
It's a comment, so I haven't checked the legitimacy of it, but they said that when the toilet paper had its patent, it said that it was supposed to go over, not under, so if that settles any form of debate.
It's over, over all day.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
I agree.
Did you send that to me?
No?
My wife sent it to me. I'm getting sicker. My wife sent that to me. I was better, and then I'm getting worse. I don't fucking know. I might be dying.
Yeah, well.
I've received this comment a bunch over the years of doing this podcast, and I never know how I feel about it, but it's because Jack seems more confident. I don't like it.
Well, I don't like it, Jack.
I don't know. Yeah, I get that one a lot. I guess they want me to always. Yeah.
Did I write that comment?
Oh, it is. Oh, you know that was a text.
For sure.
I can't abuse Jack as easily anymore.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
I tell you what. Recently, I mean, as always, your gun control clips are always going nuts. So, man.
Yeah.
Well, there's been so many shootings.
Well, I'm
been a lot. I mean,
there's
always a lot of shootings in this country, but there's been a lot.
I'm thinking of performing it in Europe and the UK. And so I may be on Tuesday, if I have enough time on Monday, I'm going to watch it all day and see if I can perform it again. I haven't performed it in 10 years. And
you have to like rememorize it.
And I got a gist of how it goes.
You can make up some new stats.
No.
You can do it. I can do part of it.
I can do part of it, but can I do 16 minutes of it? I could do 5 minutes of it.
Well, I didn't say it as much as you did, but I can do it just based on seeing you do it enough.
Right, what's the start?
Oi.
Yeah, what's the first bit?
How does it start?
Guns.
Hey, you guys seen these gun things? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
that's good.
I want to start with something
How does
that
it start?
splits a crowd. Gun control. Now, gun control, I go.
Yeah, and then the first thing is the argument. There should only be one argument is I like guns. Fuck off, I like guns.
Yeah, fuck off. I like guns.
That's
I
the first
feel like
part.
there's
And then you go something along the lines of, I go, in Australia we had a big mass shooting, blah, 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 blah. Hold the record. It still is the biggest. It isn't anymore, I don't think. And
you don't think that one in Vegas? That one in Vegas.
yeah, there's bigger ones now.
Yeah. You could do a remix.
Yeah.
2023 remix. It's like I had to update all the stuff. Mandalay Bay.
And I go, maybe we should get rid of the big guns. Fuck you, don't take my guns.
Yeah.
And then the protection, something about the doors and the padlocks.
Padlock monthly.
Yeah, padlock monthly.
Yeah, and then you go over to safe. What's your mom's birthday?
Yeah, no, the one that I got robbed, and then and people are like, I bet you wish you had a gun. I go, not really. I was naked at the time. I wasn't wearing my holster. I wasn't staring at the window waiting for cunts to come through.
You talk about how people aren't that important.
Yeah, people aren't.
You think people are coming to your house to
No
kill
problem.
you?
You got
they want
this.
your fucking TV.
Yeah.
You know, my favorite memory of this gun control is, and I live right next to the theater now, so I see it all the time, and I think about it. Remember when we watched this special in a movie theater?
Yeah.
Was it
Really?
like press or something?
Yeah, there was like an Emmy.
Jim and I sat in the back of the theater.
It was shortlisted for an Emmy nomination.
Yeah,
wow.
and so it was like press and stuff were there, and it was just Jim squirming in the back of the theater, like just having to watch his own special while other people watched it. Like, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah, that would be hard.
It would be hard, definitely.
What's
yeah.
it like watching something with a laugh track in a movie theater? Like, were the laughs
No,
matching those laughs?
no. That's the real laughs. There's
Well,
no laugh
but-
track.
no, but I mean, like-
No,
legitimate.
no,
I mean,
he's
like,
saying
there's
that
like-
there's laughter already.
There's
in that,
laughter
yeah.
already in. Like,
Yeah, but you were getting laughter in the
media.
theater, but then you look around, and then afterwards you had to go sit up front in like a director's chair and answer questions.
Oh, I see.
This is an uncomfortable scenario.
Well, I remember with that gun control thing, there was a bloke that was like, he came up to me. It was in Vegas before we met Axl Rose, and so we were doing that Vegas gig in the Hard Rock. Right?
Yeah.
And I was going down, there's maybe, I don't know, 4,000 people coming to see us or something like that. And my big bit at that stage was doing this gun control bit that hadn't been recorded yet or released or anything like that. And this bloke had obviously just seen me do sex jokes or whatever, and he was a proper, like, he was wearing a hat with, like, Second Amendment, you can never be rewritten or something with a gun on it. Like, I fought for my country, you fight for the second, one of those hats,
Yeah.
right? Like, really going for it. Bought from a gas station in the South or something, you know what I mean? One of those hats, right? Anyway, he came up to me before the show, like, he goes, man, I'm your biggest fan, man. I'm fucking so excited to see you. Oh my God. Can I have a photo? And I remember, like, he had the hat on, and I took a photo with him, like, oh, you're gonna hate this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I took the photo. Then afterwards, he commented underneath the thing, like, I took a photo with this piece of shit.
Yeah, but there was people that liked it stuff.
Oh, no, there's
I remember
people-
in Reno, a guy came up with a similar, probably hat almost, and said that he liked it.
Well, we watched that one guy.
The scary
his
looking guy, yeah.
reaction.
That's right.
Well,
Like, every once in a while, I was like,
Well, I'm gonna try it out a couple of times because people always say people complain that I don't do it on tour, and like I don't think it will go well. I think people will know the punchlines and therefore they won't laugh.
No, I think it's like
I don't think so.
seeing your favorite musician. You want to.
I don't think people will know
You
the
want to hear
punchlines.
the hits, and for people to be able to see that live is.
I know,
fun.
but I don't have my body. You could do it quite as good. I don't know if I'm
the
as
squatting into the
Running.
The safe is up on a cabinet on the counter.
Yeah.
And do I include Oscar Pistorius? Because that's my favourite bit of the whole bit. That's the bit that no one's ever
No,
seen.
but that's separate.
I know, but I like that
No,
bit.
you don't include
Really,
Oscar Pistorius.
I'm going off to the gun safe.
No, you got to drag yourself across the floor.
Yeah, he drags himself along, and I go. That's
you
where
don't
he
wanna do
keeps his legs.
You don't want to do that one.
You could do the bit. You
He
could,
opens up the safe. He gets the legs out. He's all springy. Oh, fuck you, Missy.
No, you don't do that. But you got stuff.
you could say the
No, I
top
got- I
of
got
it.
plenty of stuff.
You could say it's only become more relevant. The whole routine. Then when you get to the Oscar story, it's like, okay, this part hasn't aged well.
Well, the Oscar Pistorius bit was like 10 minutes late. It was a different bit of the whole show.
Oh.
But the the gun thing, I'll watch it. I don't think it'd be that. The last time I ever performed it, and I did. Okay, so it's like a 15 minute bit. And I did it in about 6 minutes once, and that was off the top of my head. The last time I performed it was for the Mariah Carey party.
That's right.
Oh my god.
Yeah, where it was
An
requested.
abbreviated version.
Yeah, abbreviated.
Yeah.
And I did it on grass in my bare feet. And I was running across the grass doing the safe.
Wait,
and
you
everything.
did this outside? I've always
I
pictured
did
this
it-
inside in a dining room.
No,
outside, yeah.
no, it was
Yeah.
outside.
Oh, wow.
Eddie
Oh,
Murphy was sitting there
God.
just like cringing, like as a fellow comedian, he was like, "Oh no."
Yeah.
And I also,
I'm glad it's not me.
The
and you know what else I did? I did 2 years a slave, right? That routine,
Oh my God.
and it went down flat, man.
Oh no.
Now I remember the no shoes thing was the thing for me because I was like, I had no shoes on.
Yeah.
I've never done comedy with no shoes.
Yeah.
Like I've done comedy with no mic and no light and no stage and outdoors. That all sucks. But no shoes is weird.
Yeah.
You're just
It was-
out of your body.
And it was actually,
What am I
I
doing?
always say in the thing it was at Mariah Carey's house, but it was at Brett Ratner's house.
Yeah.
And the reason I didn't say it was at Brett Ratner's house was because
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Because
What's that thing called? That thing when you've said it so much that I believe that it was there.
Yeah. No, it was Mariah Carey booked me for Packer at Brett Ratner's house, but Brett Ratner at the time was a big comedy director, and I wanted to work with the guy, so I thought best not to mention I was at his house. He might be sensitive.
Yeah.
But he's since been Me Too'd so much that it doesn't make a difference now.
And you met him.
I met him a couple of times. I'd been to meetings with him and stuff. I'd met it with him for other jobs. And so he had Rat Pack Productions with him and Packer. So Ratner and Packer, Rat Pack Productions.
At Russell, like, didn't we meet him?
I'd met him several times.
I made fun of him. I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, I met him at different things.
Because I got high and drunk there. Like, I smoked a joint. I got high and drunk, and then...
He was always nice to me. I never saw him do anything creepy, but
he doesn't drink.
He doesn't drink, yeah.
And he was getting an ice cream float. I didn't know who he was. I was just high and drunk. I go, hey, ice cream float. I guess I'm not going to be in any of your movies. Well, I wasn't going to be anyways.
Yeah.
Apple Sisters now.
Yeah, the Apple Sisters are fucked over, the Apple Sisters.
Brett Ratner's not going to use me anything. All right, more comments.
This guy, just on the gun control video, he goes, I'm a Texan and a proud Texan. Anyone who tries to take my God-given right to bear arms will have to do so after looking down its barrel. We Texans love our guns and our country. DeSantis 2024.
Well, I don't think God gave you that right.
No. The comments are lighting him up.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it's always the Second Amendment is what you've said gives you the right.
Okay, maybe explain this comment. So then someone
the worst one I get is when Australians get angry at me about it, and I'm like, oh really? you without your shootings and everything? And then Australia had a shooting with some cops and stuff on a farm where 6 people got shot, and when that happens, I get the gleeful messages.
Yeah.
Oh, so Australia doesn't have any. Like, are you really rejoicing
but it's
about
like
people dying?
6 in like how many years?
Oh, 20.
It's it's the same thing as like when a driverless car gets in an accident and they're like, you want to have this happen? And I'm like, do you know how many fucking car accidents are every day? Like, I'm for the driverless cars. Let's keep going forward with this. And they're like, one person died. I'm like, thousands of fucking people are dying every fucking month. And it's like, anyways.
Commenter reminded me that you showed us a photo of a whole olive in the toilet.
Yeah. Let's not talk about that.
Oh man, I love that photo so much.
Didn't like that day.
I'm going to send that to you randomly one night.
Really
Please,
rough.
I'll laugh so hard.
When you're on a date, I'm going to just text you a picture.
I want that photo saved. I want to show so many people that photo.
There's a bit of blood.
That's my favorite part.
There's a bit of blood, half a chip, and a whole olive.
Oh man,
I hated that picture so much.
Aaron hasn't seen it.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, show Aaron.
I'll find it. Yeah.
So someone commented, Jim knew quite a bit, but didn't know some of the most basic facts, which could be put on any podcast episode.
Oh, they didn't say what episode?
It was on Star Wars, but I think that is a perfect
we made Star Wars hard, though.
Yeah, that was...
Like, we knew that Jim was going to know a lot. So
I forgot kyber crystals.
We made it intentionally hard.
But I feel like Jim knows so many of like the really specific knowledge bits, but it's the real baseline boring stuff that
if I had time to think.
No, I mean, when Kelly and I were putting that together, we were like, we have to make this hard. Otherwise, because when Jim knows the answers, it's not funny. Then he goes, he's like, takes it very seriously. He's like, okay, all right,
it's not funny, and like, also it just makes it go too fast because then you go to the answers and you're like, yeah, you got that right.
Yeah, and then we're like, this is a topic you want to do, but we're gonna have to ask
make
really fucking hard questions.
It's so weird looking through my phone because like. If you're looking for a person, you can Google their name. But if you're looking for an olive and half a chip and some blood, there's no reference point.
Maybe looking for a trash asshole or something. Yeah. Toilet water.
When I was going through the comments, there's one guy named Martin Luther Mike who comments on every video, but like live comments the entire episode.
He had
a thought. That one day.
This guy has a lot of thoughts. He has like 20 comments an episode, and they're just... So I thought I would just read them in order.
Stream of consciousness.
Yeah. They're pretty funny because I don't know how they connect to anything. So this is on the poker episode.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a fun episode.
That was a fun episode.
Mochi is pretty tasty.
Okay.
Mango lassi with Indian food.
Wait. Did we talk about mochi?
I don't know.
We're talking about food that you can have whilst playing poker.
Oh yeah, there you go. All right, Jim's making
we'll see what these connect to.
Okay.
And Australians are known for having such particular palates.
I don't know.
Compliment, I guess. No one gets reservations like the natives. Okay. Heston is a great chef. Don't know. Gordon needs to relax.
Wait, who's Gordon? Who's Gordon?
Airdrop that to me.
Hang on, there's a few. There's
Wait,
a
I
close
thought-
up. There's got a bit of motion into
Oh,
it.
it's a live photo.
No.
Oh no, yeah.
Oh God.
Airdrop both those,
no,
please.
I didn't know it was a live photo.
You got to hold your finger on it.
No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I've seen it already.
Yeah, text it to me. I
I
want
thought
to
you
show
were
my
gonna show it to
brother.
Aaron.
There's the other.
Yeah.
I want to show my brother.
And
So
there's
bad.
the one with the chip in it.
I hate this.
I didn't eat the chip, man.
Who are you showing it to? I thought
Aaron, can you call HR, please?
You gotta hold up to the
You
camera.
really want to see this?
You hold up to the
I'm
camera.
not letting the public see it.
They've seen it. They're just on a camera. There you go.
Oh my
It's an
God.
aggressively bad picture. So we got full olive.
That came out of his ass. That came out of his ass.
It looks like a cigarette butt.
95 cents, everybody. 95 cents.
Because I've never seen a whole chip in an olive before.
You met Aaron yesterday.
Did that get on the screen, did it?
No.
I don't know.
I hope not.
I don't think so.
I don't want people putting it on the internet. There'll be,
Making OnlyFans.
there'll be perverts that'll enjoy that.
I bet if you
Oh my God, I'm
made
starting
a
OnlyFans.
separate if we made a separate Patreon tier, $20 to see the
I
olive
know.
shit.
How much? What tier? What tier of the Patreon?
Yeah, how much
can we,
money would
can
you
we use
need?
for this photo? 2,000.
Hold on. I gotta find Jack.
No, that
Yeah,
we
but-
All right.
We
that
can make that tier, yeah.
yeah, you would feel too guilty
200,000?
taking $2,000, but
Olive
a
tier.
couple $100
The olive tier.
to get the olive,
The $500 tier, you get access to the olive photos.
all of them.
Ooh.
The olive. Tier.
Every time he has an olive in his shit, we update the feed.
All right.
You're gonna have to eat more olives, Jim.
And you know what I like about it? It says the Crown Metropole Perth. It says the hotel I was shitting at.
Nice hotel. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see that if that's mine.
It was 4 in the afternoon, so why am I so bad off? It's 4:05 in the afternoon.
If this isn't confirmation that you've chosen the perfect assistant for you, I don't know
July
what is.
2nd. Like, if he tries to sue me for sending that to him, then we have footage of him enjoying. We have footage
Jack
of him
loves
very
it.
much enjoying this.
Jackson Court is like, is this you laughing? He's like,
That's me,
that's me laughing.
I was nervous.
I was coerced
It's
into
that
laughing
little bit of
that
that little bit of blood, 'cause you know that came right at the end.
Yeah.
It shouldn't look like that.
And also, it's because Australia. Look, I always big up Australia. I love Australian food and all that type of stuff. But there's some things America does better. Toilets are better in America. My arsehole's too big for an Australian toilet. They have a small body of water.
Yeah.
I'm using the brush all the time in the Australian toilet. Give me some more water, people.
Yeah.
We like the wastewater.
It's not even wastewater. It's the same amount in the cistern. You know what I mean? You suck it out. The Australians push it
Yeah,
through.
but no, there's water there and here. There's double water.
Oh, okay.
Oh, shit. Double water.
No water. No water.
All right, so what do you reckon that bit is?
All right, let's move on. This is not. No one can see it.
That's the chip. Oof. That looks like a tea bag hanging off.
Yeah,
it.
that-
But that's an entire chip. I didn't even bite into it once. I swallowed it like a
Right.
duck.
Here's a challenge for our listeners. Try to draw a picture of what you think this looks like
By the way,
and send
a
it
chip
into
is a
us.
fry for American listeners.
Yeah, but it was not like a French fry. It was a wide ass chip,
It's
Oh,
man.
a
that's
steak
right. I
fry.
always think
Oh, wait,
it's
it
a
was a potato
tortilla
chip?
chip.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't like a crisp. It was like a French fry,
Yeah.
but a thicker one.
Oh, like
Yeah.
a wedge,
like
a potato
it's-
wedge.
Steak fry.
No, it was like oven fries.
I don't know what that means.
It was the size of one that you would get from Shake Shack, not a McDonald's fry.
Shake Shack fry with an olive.
Yeah, but
and
it wasn't
a lot of
crinkle
blood.
cut.
It wasn't crinkle. It wasn't crinkle cut. It was.
did come with a side of
It was
cheese.
straight. It was straight.
And the Crown, what have you, toilet.
In the Crown Metropole.
It also looked like it was chili, but just like the water that's on top of chili.
Yeah, yeah.
Draw a
That's like
picture,
inside.
send it in.
Yeah.
I want to see how
Join
you
the
guys are
conversation.
And
interpreting.
also, it wasn't a whole olive. It was a sliced olive, but the olive had not
Yeah,
been.
don't be ridiculous.
The olive had not been bitten into. It's very clearly an olive.
Let the artist's interpretation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want to
let
see
them-
some
yeah.
drawings of this. Jack,
Send
you
it
got
in.
one more comment before we go?
I can read you the rest of the Martin
Oh, yeah.
comments.
That's right.
yeah.
My old mate Richard did green eggs and ham at a cafe. Made with Parmesan cheese and basil pesto. I guess maybe that's a
Those
green
guys
eggs
just
and ham.
live comments.
Yeah. When are you coming to England?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
Yeah.
just go to
Yeah.
the website.
This ain't my first rodeo. NZ is good in summer. Where is BetterHelp based? I need a new desktop PC. I thought his
Where
name
is
was
BetterHelp
Calvin.
based?
Not yet a doctor. That's more hedonism than debauchery. Sometimes a bluff is needed. Fingerprint. Nintendo started a card company.
Does anyone comment? This
I've
guy?
won more on yellow than red. Yellow?
I'm glad we make people feel less alone. He
Wait,
thinks
that's on
he's
like
having
so
a
many.
conversation with
Go
us.
go find any of the recent episodes. He comments on all of them. Just serious.
I would not dare read the comments
Okay.
on a YouTube video.
Yeah,
Oh,
don't.
He was talking about Clayton.
Jack, if you-
Calvin. Okay, go.
The, the water moves.
He was talking about Clayton the guest, Calvin. I was trying to think
okay,
Calvin.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
Why is the water still moving?
What did you do? Did you
The
kick
olive.
the bowl?
The olive.
Oh my god, that's so much blood.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, it's like separating like oil and water. That's
All
so
right,
bad.
this was
Another
so
comment.
bad.
Yeah,
Let's
it's-
do one more comment.
It's amazing I'm still alive.
So someone said the term bog roll. Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah, bog roll, toilet roll.
So the term bog roll comes from the practice of using moss to wipe your arse with. We'd get the moss from bogs. People were using it long before toilet paper because that used to be like paper for writing on. It was no good for its
People
purpose.
used to call the toilet the bog. Go into the bog.
Yeah.
That's where bog roll comes
I don't,
from.
you want to argue with Sid Arthur on
I
YouTube?
do. It was just
Sid
maybe,
Arthur.
maybe bog roll came first, then we called it the bog. But we always call it the bog. We call it the crapper because it was named after the guy Crapper.
Thomas Crapper.
Yeah.
He also says Arabs use bones and stones to clean themselves when they can't access water. That sounds wrong.
Racist.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Sid Arthur, you got some research to do.
All right.
Is that it?
Yeah, I guess so.
Let's
All
let
right.
Aaron go home.
All right.
Do you reckon if I just text that picture to Amos right now?
Does he know about it?
I don't think so.
Just
Oh,
text
you
it to him.
you have to then.
Just say, does this look okay?
Oh,
If I had to see
I'd
that,
say-
Amos has to see
I'll
it.
tell you a funny thing that I
getting ready
thought-
for a show.
I wrote down. You know when you wake up in the middle of the night, right? You're in the middle of the night, and you think of some joke, and you go, "Oh, I better write that down." Now I've taken to writing down just premises, just the word. Right? I never used to write down anything. But
You
I
have a
was
pad next to your bed?
no, I pick up my phone, get into notes,
Sure.
and I get into notes, and I put in. I think I can sext my brother. And then I wake up in the morning like, what the fuck was that?
Yep.
And I think it's a radio stunt idea. I reckon if I said to my brother, if I text him, I can't wait to lick your pussy, I reckon rather than him responding, what the fuck are you talking about? He'll probably sext back.
Yeah, because it's
Oh, like you're going to be the...
it's Barbara and Lottie
Yeah.
just sexting.
Yeah,
He's gonna play
like-
along.
No, but from your number?
Yeah, from my number.
Yeah, I bet he would play along.
But will he think that I meant it for someone else? Or will he think it you know what I mean?
I don't know, because
I thought that was a funny premise.
Yeah,
But
because
I'll just
worth a
send
shot.
I'll
I
just
think-
send a picture of me shit day.
I think you
when I-
gotta
when
try it.
when I used to live with I don't know why it wouldn't happen now, but when I used to live with Orlando and Vanessa, like sometimes I would just be done talking to him or texting him, and then he would send me a text like "love you, good night" or whatever, like he was sending it to Vanessa's wife, and it was always awkward. But I didn't know what to do, so sometimes I'd be like "love you too," and then he'd be like "oh shit, sorry." And then,
All right, I've texted to Amos.
Yeah, he's up. He's getting ready for his show out there in Perth.
Yeah, let's see it go through. Let's see if he responds.
I couldn't text him yesterday. I had to email him.
Maybe you're using the wrong number.
There we go. It's delivered. It's delivered.
He's got two numbers. You know?
It's delivered.
Australian.
It's delivered.
Good luck.
Are we waiting for the
Now
response?
we play the waiting game.
All right. Well, I think we got to go.
Yeah. You'll get an update next week on what Amos said.
What
All right.
happened with Amos?
With the shit photo.
All right. Good night, maybe for the last time.
All right. Well, that'll cost 30 cents next week.